Heathen Thought of the Day.
Welcome everyone, it's another day and we're here to share another thought with you from our channel Heathen the Movie. And I would like to pass the non-existent microphone over to my co-host.
No, on this show I like to save the best till last, so you can go first, and also that's the gentlemanly thing to do, ladies first. I am a gentleman.
I mean, one of those things is somewhat true, but wow, okay, you've got a lot to live up to now. So another thing that you've said on this show previously is you've called yourself the happy, shiny people person. I don't know how on earth you got that for yourself, but okay. And
well, you look back at the tapes.
You've called me somewhat of a downer on society or something. I don't know.
The negative one. Yeah, you're down with people, down with society, down with the man.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with that today.
Obviously.
And complain about something that has been an annoyance for me for a very long time now. And if you are an actor in the UK, or I think also the US, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
UK.
I'm talking about
Spotlight.
I
knew it.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, just really quickly, it's essentially an online platform where casting directors put out casting calls and actors, either individually or through their agents, can apply to get auditioned. Basically, without Spotlight, you're kind of written off as not professional and just not worth, the light of day. I've met some people on set who claim to be the most successful actors in the UK not being on Spotlight, but that comes with a certain level of...
Was it Ralph Fiennes?
It was not Ralph Fiennes. It comes with a certain level of production quality.
Was it Ian McKellen?
So usually not much to brag about. But here's my thing with Spotlight.
Because they want your money.
They do.
For doing nothing.
Money grabbing. Now, you might think that... So I think the minimum you have to pay is it's about 150, 160 pounds a year or something. But this is purely for the, great honour of being able to put your information on their website, scroll through the listings or have your agent do it, and, click to message or do anything like that. And I'm thinking, where is that money actually going?
Well, you get the privilege of scrolling through listings.
And doing the work yourself. Yeah, you do. And the other thing that annoyed me, so before I'd had any professional jobs, before I had an agent, any of this, having an agent and being on Spotlight were kind of thought of as like, the holy grail. And if you got that, you were pretty much guaranteed
Has
jobs.
Ralph Fiennes got an agent?
Yes.
Well, I guess some of them are useful then.
And I think he's on Spotlight as well.
So he's being gouged.
Yeah, I think he can afford it. But anyway, that's not the point. So I eventually, I got some experience. I got an agent. I got onto Spotlight even. And at first, Spotlight was very selective. So you had to pretty much have contacts or be wealthy. Because...
Do you still have to pay if you have an agent, or do they just let you on if you have an agent?
Right. No, you have to pay no matter what. And you had to either have done 3 years at a drama school they approve of, which costs a bomb, and you also can't work at the same time. Or you needed 3 professional credits already, under your belt, which you can't get without an agent or Spotlight. So it was very elitist. And then a few years back, they changed it to be the opposite. People I've met who've just done some extra work, which is not acting, let's be honest, are now on Spotlight.
It depends how committed you are to the role.
I suppose that's true. But they're now on Spotlight. And I was thinking about it and I was like, well, why have they done this? And it's not to be less elitist. It's so that they can get more money. And it also takes away... any of the... So the reason Spotlight was seen as what it was is because it's supposed to carry a certain level of professionalism for the people on it. But the other problem was, as soon as I got onto Spotlight, this holy grail, which is the only thing of its kind, really, in the UK, I quickly realised that none of the good roles were actually being put out there, because the casting directors deal directly with the agencies. They're not going to put out a role for a Marvel movie on Spotlight. Not that Marvel's my thing, but you get my point. It's all commercials and smaller roles. Every now and then you'll find a hidden gem, but in general, it's not worth anything. It really isn't, and it just bugs me. And I've now got a thing against Spotlight, and when we've been casting and will be casting for our film Heathen,
The remaining roles.
will at all costs be avoiding using Spotlight.
Yeah.
If you're on Spotlight, it doesn't mean we won't consider you. But if you're not on Spotlight, you have just as good a chance. Spotlight needs a reset. The industry needs a reset. It's not
I think
good.
what you're saying is Spotlight, kiss my taint.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll say it. Mm-hmm. So we can move on to my thought now after
We
that.
can.
after
Yeah,
that
what's your
rant.
fantastic thought?
So yesterday, you didn't seem to warm too much to the idea of, get this, Jason Statham is Officer Kret in Heathen. Have you warmed to it overnight?
Not particularly, unless you know the whole film is completely different than I've had in my mind for the past few years.
Well, how about this, and if that didn't warm your cockles, Jason Statham is Uncle Reg, Stud Linkfield's uncle, Reg Linkfield. And I'll let him comedically cut loose. He'd obviously be acting with me because I'm Stud Linkfield. And yeah.
Yeah, Jason
What do you think
Statham
about that?
in a ridiculous comedy, sure. I'll buy that.
What do you think about...
I'll buy that for
what
$1.
about if we can't get the Stath, he doesn't want to show off his comedy chops, you know, Danny Dyer, even though he's been in pretty much 99% garbage, abysmal, awful, appalling productions, how about him as you know, Stud's Uncle Reg's mate, Jimmy Fiddler? Actually, now you can have both of them, Statham and Dyer, on screen. Family history with Stud Linkfield. Both cutting loose. Because think about it, with my script, my direction,
I'm
my
pretty
way
sure
of
I've
working...
actually only ever seen Danny Dyer doing a documentary where he was just himself. I've never seen him act,
What
as
was
far
that?
as I'm
Fucking
aware.
hell, I didn't know that. No, I know it. Fuck.
Yeah, I can't really picture him as much of a thespian.
Well, can you picture him as Stud Linkfield's uncle's mate, Jimmy Fiddler? Then you got Uncle Reg and Jimmy Fiddler. That's a dynamic duo. You know, I'm smelling BAFTA here for Danny Dyer, which will mean a lot to him, because you know he can stick it to the establishment. It won't mean much to me. You know, awards mean nothing to me.
They mean
only
nothing.
awards that I bestow upon myself are worth anything, because I am the harshest critic. But you know, I am a generous director. I'm thinking of the needs of the actor, and obviously winning a BAFTA for anyone, and even Danny Dyer, would mean a lot to them.
I just see like a long thing of notes on your thing and just Danny Dyer.
I haven't even had to look at it one time, have I?
Well, I shouldn't have thought so.
No, it would be, you know, bringing in Danny Dyer as Jimmy Fiddler on the Live Dumb, Rock Harder / Steel Panther movie, which I have. It would be akin to Tarantino bringing back John Travolta for Pulp Fiction. You know, he's just done, you know, streaming piles of rubbish. And now here he is.
He did that.
In the greatest thing he will ever be in. And then he can just go back to doing crap.
So yeah, John Travolta
Much
did
like
that. We
John
were like,
Travolta.
oh wow, John Travolta, he can
Yeah.
actually act. And then he went and did stuff like The Fanatic. And
I mean, like, if you're thinking about my creation, Statham, Dyer, comedy together, we are really sizzling. That's sold in the room. I'm in the room. Here's the
Okay.
script. Don't you need to read it, mate? Do you know what we've got? Jason Statham, Danny Dyer.
but we haven't got them.
Yeah, but you don't need to have them first. You just tell the people in suits who don't know anything that, you know, in this page here, I've imagined Danny Dyer and Jason Statham. They'll be like, whatever it takes.
And
Here's you know, 10 million for Statham.
Obviously-
And here's a nice fish supper for Danny Dyer.
obviously Jason Statham and Danny
kid.
Dyer watch our show. So, you know, if you're watching this, just know that those two characters did not exist in this script until Johnny came up with this thought.
They're
so
not
they've been written just for you.
Well, yeah, that is a very good point, and not that I've written it yet, but I've already envisioned it. I've already envisioned it, and that's enough. It won't be in the first part because the first part is already perfection. Doesn't need Jason Statham or Danny Dyer, but once
we're getting a sequel, are we?
yeah, because it will be like with Live Dumb Rock Harder, it will be like Naked Gun. The second one probably won't be as good as the first one, but it still worth it. It's still reason enough to exist, and the third one will also be just as good, if not maybe even better than the second one. But my movies will probably be better than Naked Gun 2 and 3 on the level of that. So yeah, I've just got constant stuff running for, especially Live Dumb Rock Harder. But yeah, part 2, you got to go bigger. It's like Randy says, you know, more blood, more gore, more murder if it's horror. With comedy, you just got to go bigger in every sense and get people that the masses would enjoy watching, larking about on the silver screen. And I've never seen Statham and Dyer together, have you?
No.
Maybe they had beef or something. Maybe that's why they've never worked together.
I think Statham takes himself way too seriously to be in a Danny Dyer movie. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's not a Danny Dyer movie. It's a Jonathan Cain movie, generous enough to open the doors to two English actors, I might ask. I'm looking after my own. Jason Statham and Danny Dyer. I mean, who cares about working with Sylvester Stallone when you can form a comedy duo with a national treasure, two national treasures?
I think we get it.
So, basically, are you more open to this then?
Sure.
How about Danny Dyer as Officer Krept?
No.
All right.
No.
Is there any space for Danny Dyer in Heathen?
He could maybe be one of the torture victims that you see in the background. I don't know. Yeah.
So you just want him as like a glorified extra.
Well, you just said, is there any space? And I'm saying if I had to make space for him, that's the only place I could imagine it.
Well, we'll put the feelers out. Is he on Spotlight?
Yes.
Is Danny Dyer on Spotlight? Mm-hmm. Does he have an agent?
Yes.
Okay, well, at the Stath.
Yes.
Right, well, they're doing very well then, aren't they? Also got loads of money if they're just giving it all in sundry to Spotlight. Robbing bastards.